So it's just kind of a utopian idea, the zero interface. So this is something that I tried to use when developing this workflow, starting off with structured HTML, and every single thing I add, visually or interactively or whatever, that it is absolutely necessary. So when you have that basic HTML, you can start styling it a little bit. Just see what happens. Play around. Design is exploration. Design is experimenting. It's feeling. It's not all science. A lot of it's not science. So just start playing around with it. And it's helpful to play around on small screens. If you're one of the mobile-first advocates, it's not really mobile-first. It's structured content first. Just start designing that structured content. What I use, point 5, is breakpoint graphs. Stephen Few made this bullet graph specification, which I think is pretty cool, because here we've got two things. We're talking about the revenue, but this is pretty bad. That dark gray, bad. And the lighter gray is a little bit better, and this means pretty good. So we're talking about two things in one bar graph, basically. And it gets more complicated than this. But I really like the look of these, and I like that there was some kind of a graph specification which conveyed more information than you would expect in such a small space. So I started thinking, how could we map things that we want to do for our websites or web pages or apps or what have you. So this thing is called a breakpoint graph. And breakpoints, when we talk about breakpoints, usually we were talking about width, viewport width. And you can use that. So right now, these points are actually pixel widths in this case. But it doesn't have to be pixel widths. It doesn't have to be widths at all. I do use them because what I do is I tend to advocate a flexible layout, which changes in between each of the breakpoints. But at a breakpoint, it might change significantly. Something might change significantly. And what also is in here is HTML support, JavaScript support, and here somewhere you've got a hardware keyboard. The problem is I'm not done figuring this out. So I want to write a specification, but I have to think a lot of stuff through. So you can see there are a lot of problems with this. For example, hardware keyboard has nothing to do with 800 pixels. It's just, so these two lines have nothing to do with each other. But it is, kind of, the idea is that you start off with your structured content, and